How's it going, y'all? It's been a while. I've been a bit busy, but I had to find time to come talk with you guys, to chop it up with you guys. Wait, let me fix this camera real quick. There we go. The lightning is great. It's a very beautiful day. Can't complain. Anyway, today what I want to talk about is something happened to me over the weekend that kind of sparked this idea in me that I want to share with you guys. And it's basically the struggle for certain things. I'm a firm believer in and your beliefs create your reality depending, regardless of what you believe in. I believe that your beliefs create your reality. Whatever you see around you is based on the core belief that you have about yourself and about your life. So my belief is whatever is meant for me would never ever feel like a struggle, would never ever feel like a hustle and tussle, if you will. And I was in the gym over the weekend, and that's basically what happened to me. I was in the gym before I even was on my way. Before I even decided to go to the gym, it was kind of like I was kind of deciding. I was like, should I go to the gym? Should I not? I just ended up going anyways. However, I had this underlying thought of, look, we're just gonna stick to a plan, and we're not gonna go overboard. However, I decided to deadlift before my session because I kind of wanted to feel the strength of myself, of my body, every once in a while. So I go, I deadlift, and I was feeling kind of strong. Not as my strongest. Maybe I'll say like 50% of my strength. However, when I got to like 260 kg, and I know it's heavy. I know, but normally when I decide to deadlift that weight, it doesn't really feel as heavy. It kind of just it's very fluent, and I just deadlift it without any type of issues or any type of yeah. It doesn't feel like a grind really. However, before I even decided to go to that weight, something in me was telling me, "Yo, bro, you probably shouldn't attempt this weight." And it wasn't like a fear-based thought or a fear-based feeling. It was kind of like a warning. My body, like, or my intuition, just kind of telling me to not do it, to not go attempt the weight. However, my ego or my lack of inability to differentiate between whether it was coming from a fear or whether it was coming from a was well meant, let me say it that way, prompted me to just go ahead and deadlift that weight. So when I stepped to the bar, I lifted it. I didn't even get to the half of it, and already was it felt very heavy. And I lifted it, and I felt a pop in my back, and right away I just let it go. I was like, oof, that did not feel good. However, it wasn't like a pop. It didn't feel like a dangerous one. It felt like a like a stretch, like a pop, like when you're cracking your muscles. That's what it felt like. However, when I let the bar go, I couldn't walk straight. I was like, oh, this cannot be good. And for the duration of my workout, I after that I didn't even work out for that long. I think I stayed at the gym for like the next 20 minutes, and then I decided to go home because it didn't feel good at all. I was in pain, and then I got home and I couldn't walk straight. The next day I felt very, very, very. It was very painful. But what I learned from that experience was every time I decide to deadlift 260 kg, it never feels like I said, it never really feels like a grind, because I've mentally prepared myself for that weight before I even step to the gym. I never I never attempt that weight by impulsiveness. I prompt, I train my mind, I visualize it before I even get to the gym, and I'm able to lift that weight off the ground with no type of, it doesn't really feel like, it feels effortless, to be honest. And I kind of start looking at other areas of my life where I've injured myself, and it was due to the lack of discernment, to be able to discern between, hey, is this really for me, or is am I just forcing myself to make it for me? And I think we all experience those type of situations. Sometimes we try to force things on ourselves and we end up injuring ourselves. We end up making it worse than what it is, because we are trying to force ourselves. We're trying to fit into a scenario that is really not meant for us. And you can kind of look at it from different aspects, and even when in relationships. I've had a few. Nah, that's unnecessary. Anyways, but I've heard from people say that they are trying to get a specific person, and I kind of always think to myself, why would you want to get a specific person? Maybe you might want to get you what you want is a specific feeling, or how you will want to feel when you're with that person. But it's really never a good idea to try to force a relationship or try to force certain things. And like I said, if it feels right, of course, go ahead. But whenever you feel like you're trying to force a situation, whenever a situation is draining you or taking too much out of you than what is giving you, when the return on investments based on your feelings is not in alignment with the input that you're putting in, I always feel like it probably might not be for you. I'm a stern believer of the fact that everything that God wants for us, He would never ever put struggle in the way. You know, maybe He might put a challenge before it, because you need to pass certain challenges to be able to build your character, to be able to, withhold, or to be able to take care of whatever task that God has for you, whatever gift that God has for you. Think about it. People that have talent, just because they have talent does not mean they're not working hard, or they're not being put through certain challenges to be able to craft whatever talents they have. And we all have, we have there's this saying, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. So just because God has given you something does not mean He wouldn't put challenges into place to be able to train you. However, those challenges never feel like struggle. If you feel like you're struggling against a situation, it probably is not for you. If the situation is challenging and it's a good challenge, and you feel like, okay, I can take this on, and it's not taking too much from you, then that's kind of how you differentiate it. But it's all based on feeling. When you're in a certain place that you feel like you're not fitting in, that should probably be a sign that it's not really yours. It's not really your place. If it's your place, you will fit right in without even trying to force certain things. And I saw there was this animation that I saw, and I'll kind of I think I'll just fix it right somewhere here if I can find it. However, this animation, I think it was like a moon shaped puzzle, and there was another like Tekken. What was it called? It was like an L shaped shape. Let me say it that way. But the premise of the video, the premise of the animation was basically trying to say that, the other shape was trying to cut itself to fit with the other shape. And this shape was trying to cut itself to fit with that shape. And they were trying to make it work. And I didn't really believe in it. I didn't really believe in it. I've always felt like, yes, of course, sometimes you have to compromise. However, if you're compromising feels like you're cutting yourself to make it fit somebody else's narrative, nah, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I always believe that my my situation, or whatever is meant for me, will come into my life effortlessly. And it's been happening all my life. You know, everything that been able to get, everything I've been able to achieve, everything I've been able to manifest came effortlessly. I didn't have to put in extra grind. Of course, I had to put in effort. I had to make it. I had to apply a certain level of, a certain level of pressure. However, it never really felt like work. It never ever felt like work. You know, and you kind of hear it from artists who create art. You know, their ideas never come to them when you're trying to grind it out, when you're trying to brainstorm. It kind of comes to them when you're like cooking or showering or walking. That's why it's very good to take a walk when you're brainstorming, because when you're walking, your mind is not really, it's not really on the thing that you're, the tags that you're trying to work on. Your mind is kind of free, and it's it's there's no resistance. However, when you're trying to deal with a situation and you're trying to brainstorm, you're trying to find an answer, the answers really never come to you. You know, effortless creation is my motto. If I ever feel like I'm struggling against a situation, that is probably a sign for me to leave, you know. And I also apply it into relationships. You know, if I'm with somebody and that person challenges me, if I'm with a woman and the woman challenges me to become a better person, she calls me out on my shortcomings where she feels like I can be better. If she does it out of love, you know what I mean? That's the difference. There are certain women that will call you out on your shortcomings, but they know you cannot do anything better. You cannot do anything about it. Or even if you can do something about it, they'll put salt on the wound and they'll make sure that it hurts. You know what I mean? Whereas a woman that is meant for you will never do that because she understands you're a human. However, she's not gonna let you, she's not gonna let you function below what she believes that you can function at. You know what I mean? So when I'm with a woman and she's not doing it out of love, then I really realize, oh, when I feel like I'm putting in too much into the relationship that when I'm getting back, then that is probably a sign that that relationship is not for me. So I hope you guys can apply this type of wisdom. And also takes, a lot of discernment. You have to really discern within yourself and kind of find excuse me, find what the answer is. You know, the answer is always within you. You kind of have to just go within you and ask yourself, yo, is this situation that I'm dealing with, is it taking too much out of me, or is it making me better? If it's draining you and making you depressed, then it's probably just a sign that you're going against what you believe in, or going against what is truly going to make you happy. But if it's making you a better person, you also have that feeling, you get that intuition that, hey, listen, this probably isn't meant for me. So if you're dealing with a situation that you're fighting against, or you think you're struggling too much against, that probably is a sign to let that situation go. So, and if I had applied the same wisdom to my training to my training last Saturday, I probably wouldn't have injured myself. So that's also a lesson that I have to learn, anyways. However, I hope I didn't injure myself too much. It's much better now. I've been able to walk normally. I even trained today. I didn't go that crazy, but I trained today and it felt better. I kind of feel better. I'm taking it slowly through the recovery process, and I'll go see a professional if I feel like it's needed. So I hope you guys took something from this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up down below, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.